Hi and hello everyone. To those of you out there having a wonderful time with your loved ones and your family, I just want to say welcome back to this channel where we teach you the basics of how to code from being a beginner and becoming a full stack developer. So if you're new to this channel, I'd love for you to hit the subscription button and the notification bell so you can get more of our recent upload and so you don't have to miss out on anything. Our goal is to take your dream of becoming a web developer or a full stack developer to becoming a reality. We create an environment of learning, taking learning to an environment of the least level where it doesn't seem possible to learn. And that is why this channel we are considered and known as a channel for the basic levels. And just to add to this, I want to say that if you don't have a system, you don't need to have a system to take your dream of becoming a developer, making it a reality. That's why we are here for you. We make learning possible even with the use of your smart mobile phones. So without further ado, if this channel is for you and I know is for you, so all you have to do is follow along. Thanks once again. Welcome back. Without further ado, let's get right to the business of today. So here we are in our text editor. As you can see, it's empty. We haven't coded anything, we haven't written anything on it. It's just blank. So basically a text editor is a software that allows you to be able to write code, to be able to write HTML, to be able to write CSS, JavaScript, Python, and so on, even PHP, SQL, and the rest. So it is a software that allows you to do that. And as you can see, this is one of those software made for mobile phones. So if you want to learn um, how to code, how to write these basic languages, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Java, PHP, Python, and so on. Um, you don't need to have a laptop, a system to be able to start learning all this. You can actually start with your phone. Don't let anything limit you. Don't let your lack of having a system limit you from going for your dream. Don't let it limit you from chasing after your dream, because as you see, time is inevitable. Time is moving, and time is moving, it's not going to wait for anyone. There is time for everything. So the time you can use to learn these various things now, if your inability to have a system and you wait till you have a system, you might end up having a system, and at the end of it all, you might lose interest in others because you might be so busy due to one or two things. As life becomes, we need to add more responsibility to you. So uh in our previous, okay, let me quickly show you some things. In this text editor right here, the one we are currently using is A-code text editor. You head over to your Play Store, download A-code, install. Then it is pencil icon here. Click on it. You can see we have rename, we have syntax highlighting, we have text encoding, new mode, and so on. If you want to copy, just because there's nothing written on it now, this is same bar where you can copy, you can paste, you can cut. So let me quickly show you some syntax we have. As you can see, these are some file extensions. So these are some of the syntaxes that you can use this app to this software rather, to write. You can see if we just pass HTML, this is HTML, this is Java, JavaScript, JSON 5, log, and so on. If we keep on going down, you see we have PHP, um, robot, And that is just it. Even XML, as you can see, we have XML. So that was just to show you this. Then this other icon here at the top right of the screen, this three dot, click on it. You see new file, save, save as, files, close file, open recent. There's open recent files, find files, console, setting, help, then exit. Now if you want to create a new file, so you create your new file and you start create the file you want to work on, you want to build. If it's an HTML file, if it's a CSS file, if it's a JavaScript file, PHP, a SQL, you build it and you work according to the syntaxes, the way you start out of writing those various different type of languages files you just pick. So how to create a file? Let's take for instance, I'll just all I have to do is to click this new file. I want to create a new file. Now, before I do that, let me quickly show you something. If you look at my take a look at my screen, you can see we have a folder at the top left side of the screen. We have a file right here, but it's not actually a file. You can see right here we have untitled text, and the place where we have this yellow stroke or yellow line above it, you can see this is the file. We have untitled text. Now this is actually by default. When you enter your a code, you want to create a code, this is just going to what you're going to have. So you can't actually write any languages of your choice. If let's want to write HTML language, you can't write that. You can see nothing is happening. It's just showing white. If you see excess, you can't do anything with it. Not with JavaScript, it won't highlight anything. So basically now we want to create a file. So what kind of file are we going to create it? But first, for demonstration, I'm going to be showing you how this file work, how to create this file and how they work, the different ways. It's so simple. It's just it's the most simplest thing you come across learning when learning. Just beginning your journey to learning how to code and write all these CSS file, HTML, web development app, and programming and the rest. So this to head over to this icon at top right side of your screen, this three dot, click new file. Now we're going to click this. Now you can give your file any name of your choice, any name of your choice. But for this tutorial, we're going to be building a website continuously. We're going to be building them part by part, so to help our learning, to also have a clear and basic and a good foundation. So it is good. Every website out there, every web app, you notice when you enter a web app for the first time or a website, though that website may have different pages, but there's always one that appears first. Now that first, when you want to create a website, the first page that appear is usually best to call it, it's usually called index, meaning it's the first page. What it means is that when you are building something and maybe your one of your file have index dot something, let's say index is an HTML file, but its name is index. It's a JavaScript file and it's an index is CSS and it has a name index in respect to HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and all. What it means is that your text editor or the browser, when you upload this to the internet, the browser, when going through your file, is going to present the index file first. So from that will be your root or starting point. It is from that point you now begin to direct every other page to come in the way you want it. So index. Now let's say we want to create, what kind of file do we want to create? Let's say first off is an HTML file. HTML file. All you have to do is to write this dot, give it an extension, and this extension is written by dot HTML. What this means is that what we've just done, we've just given it an extension, is an HTML extension. So if I am to save this, you take note of it. Okay, let me cancel this. Now you take note of it. It wasn't as it was before. If we were to rename this pen icon, we have to clear this HTML, or let's put something. Let's put HMTL. It's going to turn back to a folder because it's not an HTML or any file name by extension. So you spelling have to be exact. HTML. If you also, you can also write it a capital letter, it will still work, but I prefer using lowercase. You see, it's this from icon through HTML5, and the name of our file is index.html. So I like using lowercase. So now let's start writing some code. In our very first video, we succeeded in building this kind of web interface. We succeeded in building this kind of interface which says, "Hello world, welcome to my website." And in the course of this, we learned so many things. We learned about the tag. We learned about most of the various and common tags. We learned about input button. We learned about colors, background color, positioning, and we learned about even the DOM. So we are going to now we're going to make something more better than what we have here, because this doesn't look so attractive as that, but it was just a demo. So we're going to make this looks a little more better than what we have now. So what we're going to be making today, instead of this, what we have here, this is what we're going to be making. So this is what we're going to be building from scratch. We're going to be building this from scratch, and along the line we're going to learn so many things along the line. So um, let's get right to it. So the first thing we're going to be doing when writing an HTML tag, there's something called the DOM. Yes, the DOM, DOM. I might be using that in place of the website. The DOM is like, normally a website, you see, a website is an empty sheet of paper. Now if you look at our screen right here, if you notice something, let me rename this thing back to where it was, a folder. Let me remove this, let me add a capital letter and still works. Okay, okay. You see, it's no longer a file. If you take notes, while it was a file, an HTML file, there was a play icon. Well, now that it's a folder, there's no play icon. What we have here is just a pen icon and these three dots. Let me change this back to a file by saying, giving it the right spelling, the right extension, HTML. You see, the plain icon appeared. Now this plain icon is what you are what's going to show you how your work so far is. It's like more like the browser to inspect your work, and rather not inspect, to see your progress. Now this is our browser. This is our this is our website. It's just plain, it's blank. Now basically a website is just like an empty sheet of paper. It's a blank page. A blank page, just as you have a page of paper blank, nothing. You want to make a beautiful design out of it, you can begin to draw out so many things. It can be a flower, things that are so attractive. Put an heading, write some stories about it. There is how a website is. Just as that page was just empty before. That is how the website is. A website is like an empty sheet of paper, a blank page. Now, a website, just like the one you are seeing on the screen right now, you see, we have some pictures, some text. These are the interface that makes the these are the designs, the interface that makes the website look more attractive, and where you can do some certain things, can do run your business, do whatever you want to do. But these are the interface, the website you are seeing right now on screen. Normally, if you want to refresh this browser icon, this web icon is for refresh. I want to click on it. There's no magic or miracle. Yeah, there's no magic that's just going to make all those beautiful interfaces you saw on screen just now appear. If we want something like that, we are the one to make it happen. So let's head straight to it. So the first thing we want to do is to say, since it's an HTML file, all you have to do is to write this lesson down, HTML later down. Now I'll do that again. Lesser than HTML. Then write this, put the greater than. You see, it automatically completes it for me. Normally, when you are writing an HTML, how you do that, you write the lesser than comes first, followed by the greater than, the lesser than again, forward slash, then greater than. So whatever this is how the um, code block looks like. So whatever type of tag you want to create, HTML has various tag, element tag. We have the HTML tag, which is the mother tag, the parent tag, the head tag, just as you have in every human being, animals, living thing. There's always a head and a body. So that is how a website is as well. You have the head and you have a body. Then in all of it, you have is wrapped inside the HTML tag. So whatever element you want to create, if it's a div, if it's an image, if it's a audio, video, if it's a file, templates, as many as they are there, even a script, a style, this is how you write it in respect to HTML. So let's say the first thing we have to do, we write it, give it HTML tag. So I have to spell that correctly, HTML. Then come over here, it has to be the same spelling. Don't come here and write capital letter or miss any letter. It always have to be the same spelling, HTML. Otherwise you may have issue when as you go along. So you can see we have a less than HTML forward slash less than a less than HTML greater than less than forward slash HTML then greater than. I've already explained all these things in our previous videos, so I'm not going to go deep that much because of time, in order not to make this video very lengthy. So again, so if you want to know more on all this, I suggest you check the previous video, which was the very first video. It's very detailed. Everything I just said is also in that first previous video. So if you can understand that, if you missed that first video and you're a beginner, you might find it slightly difficult to catch up as fast as we are moving, though you'll be able to catch up with us. So let's go. If you can recall, after the HTML we always have what? The head. Then the head we have a title, and we're going to make this coding made easy academy. Coding made easy academy. Now after the head we have the body tag, it's an element tag. Then after the body tag we have, so we're going to want to remember I said we want to create this kind of interface. This is the kind of interface we want to create. If you check closely, there's the body as the main body of the background. There's an image behind your interface, and it's a little bit transparent. And we have a login heading. Here we can fill in our name, email, whatever email you want. If you didn't submit it, please enter the ad. So it has to be correct, and the password, whatever password you put in, you can view it. You can also hide it. Submit. Here, gmail.com. So now back to our text editor. First thing I want to do, I'm going to create a body. Now we already have a body tag. I'm going to create a div tag. We call what a div tag is. So in this div tag is where I'm going to be putting my content, everything we saw there. So I'm just going to call this, give it an ID, which I can use to style or add some functionality, which I can use to grab this particular element, not all element that bears the name div. So it has an identity that I can use instead of the general name. So I'm going to give this name to content. Inside the content, so with this we are creating a tree, like we said in our previous video. This is a tree, a structure rather, a structure. So inside of our content, for us to look back at our interface the other time, we have a login, we have the input here, enter your, and inside of the inputs we have your placeholder, enter your email, then for the password, enter your password. So quickly I'm just going to do that. So I'm going to say input, so I'm going to say type email, then for value I'm just going to leave it empty. I'm also going to give this input an ID called email. I'm going to give it a placeholder. Now let me leave this placeholder first of all. Since we had two inputs, we had the email and the password. Let me change this to password. For those, you see, this is where I click to copy. I can undo. That's one thing I like about using a code. I can undo using this and redo as well. I can copy from here. I can copy it upward, downwards, undo everything. I can move it if I want to. You can, this is where my console is. So if I click this arrow that's facing up that has M, it's going to move upward, downwards. See, I can move my console anywhere. So here's one cool thing I love about using a code amongst other text editor for your mobile phone. So if you are following this tutorial, I recommend you use a code. But if you have something better, it's fine for you. So I'm just going to copy and paste this. So change this to password instead of email. So let's check that. You can see this. We have the, let me change the body of the website so you can see clearly. I'm going to come here, apply some CSS. Like I said, this type of CSS where we do let's give it a styling of background, color. I would say the spelling of color is not that of COLOUR, not that end with UR, rather it is COLOR. If you are to type UR, it won't work. So ensure take note of that R. Then you have your semicolon. Then what color do you want to give it? In this case, blue. So run this, you can see our background has changed, and we have these two inputs feed here. So let's make it look different from the other. Inside this placeholder, I'm going to say enter your email. Enter your email. Here it's going to say enter your password. You can see it's now written inside of it. Now we can differentiate among them. Enter your email, enter your password. Now if we are to go back to what we have here, you can see we have a submit button as well. So I'm just going to create that as well, submit button, and I'm going to use the same input. Normally you're supposed to use a button, or let me just use a button for that, but for sake of tutorial we can use a button or we can use an input. Okay, let me use a button. Let me use a I'm going to use so for the sake of this video, in our previous the very first video we did, former video, we had we've learned on how to use button. So to also grow our knowledge and one step ahead, we are going to learn how to use input. So instead of using button in this case, I come here and say button. I'm going to be using input instead of it. So all I have to do is just come over here, copy. I'm going to type what type of input is this? Please, if you notice, when I copied that, you can see the bar, it also took the first double quote. You have to ensure it is 2, not 1, else there's going to be error, and ensure there's an equal to, then yeah, this is how it is. So what type of input is this? Is it an email? Is it a password? Is it a name? So there are various ones. For here we're going to say submit, and we're not going to be giving it a placeholder. You can see even though there was a placeholder here before, it still did not show in place of the placeholder because it is a submit type of input. But if I'm to say a name, text for instance, or a name, if I'm to say text, you can see enter is showed. So rather than that, I'm going to change this to submit, and then I'm going to clear this placeholder. We don't need it anymore since it's not working. And right here I'm going to come into this value. That's why I'm going to write the word we had there, submit. So then now you see it's showing. Same thing goes for using an input without a placeholder. If I'm to, just for learning sake, come here and okay, for learning sake, and I undo that. Let me make use of this one. And let's say this is not a submit type of input. Let's say it's a name. Sorry, text. Yes, you can see it still showed submit, and this is so this is no longer an input. This is not a button because we are using the submit type, but here we have email, password, and text. So Let's go back. That was just a demonstration so that we can know the difference. So now yes, you can see it still showed submit, and this is a so this is no longer an input, this is not a button because we are using the submit type, but here we have email, password, and text. So let's go back. That was just a demonstration so that we can know the difference. So now if we check back our website here or our interface, we have our email, password, submit. Then above of the submit, in between the password and submit, we have a forget password, sign up with Facebook or Instagram. So let's do that quickly. So I'm going to put now I'm going to put an anchor tag here. You can see a this a means anchor tag is actually for link. This is actually a link tag. It's actually a link. When you want to create a link, this the tag is for creating link for those links you have in your WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and so on. It's Apple reference. So I come here and say forgot password. Let's see. Now you can see we have a forgot password here. So forgot password. Yeah, I'm just going to put hash by default. For now, for to click on the link, it's not actually going to take us anywhere. Okay. Let me just leave it so you can see it. It's not going to take us anywhere. So since our background color is blue, I'm just going to leave it this way for now. I'll change it as we go on. So after that, we have let's check. We have a or sign up with or sign up with. So let's go that now. No, this is not a link. It's just a text. So let's do that quickly. I'm going to say or sign up with or sign up with. So I want to apologize for the keyboard noise. I think I'm actually going to find a solution to that so that we don't have to be hearing the sound of the keyboard. What we have here when I'm typing letters. So please just endure for now. Pardon me. Thank you so much for your understanding. So after that we have sign up with. We're going to be having then a div sign up with what Facebook, Instagram. So I'm going to be putting this inside a div, inside of a div. So now I want to move my console to the left side, but I don't see the button that the key that moves it. All I have to do is to click this icon here, the face up. So everything is going to come out. So I just click it. There are still more tools you have to drag. See, there are more. So I'm going to give it an idea of Facebook with Facebook. Rather. Facebook sign up with Facebook. Facebook. So I'm going to come here, right? Facebook, and copy and paste. Change it to Instagram. Instagram. With Instagram. With Instagram. For to check that what we have so far. Okay, so I'll sign up with, yeah, looking nice. So there's one more thing I want to have. If we were to look back at what we have here, see we have a login and heading. A login, then they don't have an account, and a sign up link as well. So let's quickly do that. Come up here, and before the image tag input type, I'm going to say I'm going to create an header tag, header tag, get an idea of header. Then I'm going to say login. So for to check that, here we have our login showing. So come here, you don't have an account, then sign up with. Going to create an h3 tag as well. Don't have an account. And finally, a link, anchor tag, href. Just click on this to complete it. So since for now we're not going anywhere, I want to see the color due to the color of our background. I'm just going to leave it instead of adding hash here. It like this, and I'm going to add this. Then say sign up now. So we basically have almost everything set up. So what we want to do now, this is HTML. This is how HTML is without CSS, without JavaScript, without every other languages. Actually, there's only one CSS applying to it now, which is this style. If I'm to get rid of this style, like also as we said in our previous video, we said that this is actually this type of styling where we write our style in the same body, the same line of as the element we are using. You see, this is the element tag body, and we are writing a style property, giving it a style property. So we can do this style property in the same line. So this type of styling is called inline styling. It's called the inline styling, and we said it's not actually a good way of styling, but it's just so that we can, for just a quick demo. So the best way to use is either, actually the best way to use when building a for web development or whatever you want to do is actually external, using an external file. So if it's JavaScript, every other, it is best that every other files, each files have their own files. What I mean is that each languages, each extension, they have their own file. CSS has its own file. There's a file, separate file for HTML, which is this. As many HTML you want to use, there's a separate file for it. There's a separate file for JavaScript, CSS, PHP, SQL, and the rest as we go on. So you get to understand more of it, and you learn how to use it. So, but for now, I'm not going to be using external. I'm going to be using internal. Then in previous next video I'm going to copy everything and make it an external file. So let's quickly do this. So now this is how our website or web page actually look right now for to run this without the application of CSS. You can see it looks it looks it doesn't look good, it looks ugly. You can see it looks ugly than the former. So this is how a website look basically without the use of CSS. So CSS is the what controls the beauty of every website, every interface, digital interface you see out there. So this brings us to the end of the same video, learning about HTML in building the kind of web interface we'll be building so far. So if you do find this video interesting, please ensure to click the subscription button and the notification bell so you can get more updates and recent upload of this channel. So ensure to like these videos and tell someone about it, anyone you know who has this interest and passion as well to learn web development and coding. So you can leave your comment as well in the comment section below. For now, till next time. Thank you. Bye.